They think you are finished because they only understand the version of you that fell. They saw the mistake. They saw the loss. They saw the humiliation. They saw the silence after everything broke. And because you stopped explaining yourself, they confused your quietness with defeat. Let them. A man who is truly rebuilding does not announce construction. He disappears into the dark, studies the damage, sharpens what was weak, and returns with a face no one recognizes. Machiavelli understood something most people never learn. Power is not proven when everyone is clapping. Power is proven when the room turns against you, your name becomes a joke, your enemies start smiling, and even the people who once stood beside you begin acting like they never knew you. That moment is not your ending. That moment is your examination. Life is asking you one question. Were you only strong when it was easy? Or can you become dangerous when everything is taken? Listen closely. When everyone thinks you are finished, you have one advantage. They stop watching carefully. They stop fearing you. They stop preparing for your return. Their arrogance becomes your opening. Their underestimation becomes your weapon. While they celebrate your fall, you study their weakness. While they laugh, you learn discipline. While they gossip, you build in silence. That is how a fallen man becomes untouchable. Do not beg them to believe in you. Do not explain your pain to people who enjoyed watching it happen. Do not waste your energy trying to prove you are still powerful. Real power does not defend itself with words. It returns with results. Comment this phrase now. I rise in silence. Write it like a warning to your old self. Write it like a promise to the version of you they tried to bury. Because from this moment forward, you are not rising to impress them. You are rising to remind yourself that no defeat has permission to define you. Number 2. Turn their doubt into your discipline. When people think you are finished, they expect you to panic. They expect you to chase approval, explain your side, beg for a second chance, and expose your wounds to anyone willing to listen. That is exactly what weak men do. They turn pain into noise. But you are not here to make noise. You are here to turn pain into structure. Machiavelli would tell you that the first rule of returning to power is emotional control. Not revenge, not rage, not dramatic speeches, control. Because the moment your enemies can predict your emotions, they can predict your moves. And the moment they can predict your moves, they can defeat you before you even stand up. So stop reacting. Stop shaking every time someone mentions your name. Stop giving your energy to people who only want to see if you are still bleeding. Let them wonder, let them assume, let them speak. Your comeback must be built where their eyes cannot reach. In the quiet hours, in the painful mornings, in the lonely nights when nobody is clapping, nobody is checking, nobody is believing. That is where your next version is created. Not in public, not in arguments, not in emotional explanations, in discipline. You wake up even when your mind feels heavy. You train even when your body wants comfort. You work even when your pride is broken. You learn even when your ego wants revenge. This is how you become dangerous again. You do not chase the people who walked away. You do not hate the people who doubted you. You use them. Their doubt becomes fuel. Their laughter becomes rhythm. Their silence becomes space. Their betrayal becomes proof that your circle needed cleaning. Comment this now. I rebuild without permission. Say it like a man who finally understands that no one is coming to save him, and that is the greatest freedom of all. Because when you stop waiting for sympathy, you start creating power. When you stop asking why they left, you start noticing what their absence gave you: focus, clarity, and space to become someone they can no longer reach. Your fall did not destroy you. It exposed what was weak, what was fake, and what was wasting your time. Now use the lesson. Sharpen your mind, guard your mouth, master your routine. Build so quietly that when they finally look back, they do not find the broken man they expected. They find a stranger with colder eyes and stronger purpose. Number 3, become unreadable while you recover. The most dangerous stage of your comeback is not when you win. It is when you are still wounded, still angry, still uncertain. but you finally decide to stop letting the world see your pain. This is where most men destroy themselves. They bleed in public. They complain to the wrong people. They post their sadness, explain their losses, reveal their plans, and give their enemies a map of their weakness. Never do that. Machiavelli would tell you that a man rebuilding power must become unreadable, not fake, not cold for attention, unreadable. Your face must stop telling the world what your heart is fighting. Your mouth must stop giving people evidence. Your emotions must stop becoming entertainment for those who never wanted you to rise. When you are finished in their eyes, every reaction you give them becomes proof that they still control you. So remove the proof. Control the face. Control the tongue. Control the timing. Let them think you are quiet because you are broken, while you are quiet because you are becoming precise. This is dark psychology in its purest form. People only dominate what they can read. If they know what hurts you, they press it. If they know what you fear, they use it. If they know what you want, they tempt you. If they know your next move, they block it before you arrive. So become a sealed door. Let your silence confuse them. Let your discipline disturb them. Let your patience make them nervous. Do not announce healing. Heal. Do not announce growth. Grow. Do not announce revenge. Outgrow the need for revenge until your success becomes the answer they cannot argue with. Comment this now. My silence is my strategy. Write it because you need to remember that your comeback is not a performance. It is a private war. And in private wars, emotion is expensive. Every minute spent defending your name is a minute stolen from rebuilding your value. Every hour wasted watching who doubted you is an hour taken from sharpening your mind. Every night spent replaying betrayal is a night your future self needed for focus. You must become ruthless with your attention, not cruel to others, but loyal to yourself. Stop giving your mind to people who only exist in your life as wounds. Stop feeding old conversations. Stop imagining what you should have said. Stop building arguments in your head with people who are already beneath your next level. Your power returns when your attention returns. Your strength returns when your routine returns. Your dignity returns when you stop explaining pain to spectators. From now on, let them see less and wonder more. Let them hear less and fear more. Let them expect weakness and receive distance. Let them search for the old you and find nothing but silence, discipline, and a man who has become too focused to be controlled again. Number 4. Bury the weak version. The cruelest mistake you can make after a fall is trying to return as the same person who collapsed. That version already proved its limits. That version trusted too quickly, spoke too freely, reacted too emotionally, wasted too much time, and gave too many people access to your inner world. So do not resurrect your old self. Bury him properly. Thank him for surviving what he survived, then move beyond him. Machiavelli would never advise a wounded man to rebuild his reputation before rebuilding his nature. Reputation is smoke if character is weak. Image is useless if discipline is absent. Respect cannot stay around a man who does not respect his own standards. This is why your rise must begin with a brutal private audit. Look at your habits without mercy. Look at your circle without nostalgia. Look at your excuses without softness. Look at your emotional addictions without lying to yourself. What destroyed you was not only what they did, it was what you tolerated. It was what you ignored. It was where you kept lowering the price of your presence just to avoid being alone. That ends now. A man who rises again must become harder to access, harder to distract, harder to impress, and harder to break. He must learn the difference between love and dependence, loyalty and convenience, kindness and weakness, patience and fear. He must stop calling every attachment sacred. Some people were not blessings. They were tests wearing familiar faces. And when you failed to see them clearly, life corrected your vision through pain. Do not hate that pain. Use it. Pain is expensive education, and only fools pay the price without learning the lesson. From today, every betrayal must sharpen your judgment. Every loss must strengthen your discipline. Every embarrassment must humble your ego. Every lonely night must train your independence. Comment this now. I bury the weak version. Say it with your chest, because this is the moment you stop worshipping who you used to be. You are allowed to change. You are allowed to become colder with your time, stricter with your standards, and quieter with your plans. You are allowed to walk past old doors without knocking. You are allowed to disappoint people who benefited from your confusion. That is not cruelty. That is order. Understand this. When everyone thinks you are finished, your transformation must be so deep that even you cannot return to your old patterns. You cannot rise with the same loose mouth, the same lazy mornings, the same emotional hunger, the same desperate need to be chosen. You rise by becoming selective. You rise by becoming disciplined. You rise by becoming the man who no longer negotiates with weakness. Let them remember your fall. That memory will make your return more powerful. Let them think they know you. Their outdated picture of you will become their blind spot. While they judge the old version, you are building the new one in silence, far beyond their reach. Number 5, build power where nobody can applaud. When you are rising again, you must understand one hard truth. Applause is dangerous when your foundation is still weak. The same crowd that praises you today can laugh at you tomorrow. The same people who say they believe in you can disappear when your path becomes uncomfortable. So stop building your life around being seen. Build where nobody can clap. Build in the hours no one respects. Build when your phone is silent, your name is forgotten, your confidence is shaking, and your old life is trying to pull you back. This is where real power is forged. Machiavelli knew that a ruler who depends on public approval becomes a prisoner of the public mood. And the same is true for you. If your discipline only works when people notice it, it is not discipline, it is performance. If your motivation only appears when someone encourages you, it is not strength, it is dependency. A man who rises after being counted out must learn to become his own witness. You must wake up and work without needing anyone to understand. You must improve without needing anyone to compliment you. You must choose the hard thing even when nobody sees the sacrifice. That is how you become dangerous. Not by showing everyone your struggle, but by training yourself to continue without attention. Dark psychology reveals something simple. Most people quit when they feel invisible. They need validation to keep moving. They need proof that someone cares. They need immediate reward. But if you can move without reward, you become rare. If you can stay disciplined while ignored, you become powerful. If you can keep your standards when nobody is watching, you become trustworthy to yourself. And once a man trusts himself, he stops begging the world for confidence. Comment this now. I build in the dark. Write it, because that is where your empire begins. Not in public celebration, not in motivational speeches, not in revenge fantasies. In the dark. In the private repetition of actions that look small today, but become terrifying tomorrow. Every page you read, every workout you finish, every unnecessary reaction you swallow, every weak habit you kill, every dollar you save, every skill you sharpen, every distraction you refuse, every emotional impulse you master becomes a brick in your return. Do not underestimate small victories. The world only notices the harvest, but power is planted quietly. Let them think nothing is happening. Let them believe you are still lost. Let them mistake your absence for failure. A wise man never corrects an enemy who is comfortable with a false assumption. While they relax, you prepare. While they talk, you execute. While they underestimate, you accumulate strength. And when your return becomes impossible to ignore, do not explain how you did it. Let the results speak with a language louder than pain, louder than gossip, and louder than every voice that once declared you finished. Number 6, reclaim the throne inside your mind. There comes a moment in every comeback when the hardest enemy is no longer the people who doubted you. It is the voice inside you that secretly agrees with them. That quiet poison. That whisper that says, maybe they were right. Maybe you are finished. Maybe the best part of your life already passed. Crush that voice without negotiation. A man cannot rise while carrying the identity of his defeat. Machiavelli understood that power begins in perception, but the first perception you must conquer is your own. If you still see yourself as the man who failed, every opportunity will look too big for you. Every room will feel like a courtroom. Every mistake will feel like evidence. You will walk like someone waiting to be exposed. That ends now. You must change the internal throne before you can reclaim the external battlefield. Stop speaking to yourself like a victim begging for proof. Speak to yourself like a commander rebuilding a kingdom after invasion. Yes, you were hit. Yes, you lost people. Yes, you made mistakes. Yes, you were embarrassed. But none of that gives you permission to become weak. The world does not reward your excuses. It studies them. It senses hesitation. It smells insecurity. And when people sense that you do not believe in your own return, they will treat you like a man who has already accepted defeat. This is why your mind must become guarded territory. Do not let every memory enter. Do not let every insult sit inside you. Do not let every old failure keep voting on your future. Your past can advise you, but it cannot rule you. Comment this now. My mind is no longer occupied. Write it because that is exactly what happened. For too long, your enemies, your regrets, your losses, and your humiliations were living rent-free in the place where your strategy should have been. They occupied your focus. They occupied your sleep. They occupied your confidence. Now you take the territory back. You train your thoughts like soldiers. You do not allow panic to command them. You do not allow nostalgia to weaken them. You do not allow anger to waste them. You direct them toward what can be built, what can be fixed, what can be mastered, what can be won. This is masculine discipline at its deepest level, not pretending nothing hurts, but refusing to let hurt sit on the throne. Every morning you must remind yourself that your feelings are real, but they are not your ruler. Your pain is real, but it is not your plan. Your fear is real, but it is not your master. The comeback begins when your mind stops asking for comfort and starts demanding order. Clean your inner world. Remove the mental parasites. Stop replaying conversations with people who are no longer qualified to speak into your life. Stop imagining revenge against people who are already wasting their own potential. Stop measuring your worth by the worst season you survived. You are not the collapse. You are the strategist after the collapse. You are not the wound. You are the man learning where armor was missing. You are not the rumor. You are the result that is still forming. Let them keep their outdated story. You have a greater duty now to become so mentally controlled, so emotionally disciplined, and so deeply focused that the next time life tries to break you, it only discovers how much harder you have become. And from that day forward, nothing inside you kneels before doubt again. Not once, not ever again. Number 7. Let underestimation become your cover. When everyone thinks you are finished, do not rush to correct them. Let them be wrong. Let them become comfortable with the story they created about you. Let them believe your silence means weakness. Your absence means failure. Your slow movement means you have no plan. A foolish man fights every false opinion. A strategic man uses false opinions as camouflage. Machiavelli would understand this with absolute clarity. The enemy who underestimates you lowers his guard, speaks too freely, reveals too much, and prepares too little. That is your advantage. Stop trying to look powerful before you are powerful. Stop trying to appear healed before you have healed. Stop trying to convince people that you are coming back. That hunger to be recognized will make you reckless. It will make you announce plans too early, trust applause too quickly, and mistake attention for progress. You do not need attention. You need leverage. You need skill. You need endurance. You need a colder relationship with your emotions. The world already saw you fall. Good. Now let the same world fail to see you preparing. There is a deep psychological weakness in proud people. Once they decide you are beneath them, they stop studying you. Their pride blinds them. Their mockery relaxes them. Their certainty makes them lazy. And while they are laughing, you are learning how they think. While they are gossiping, you are building the discipline they lack. While they are enjoying the comfort of their judgment, you are becoming the consequence of their miscalculation. Comment this now. Underestimate me quietly. Write it because this is not a plea. It is a warning hidden in patience. You are not asking them to believe in you. You are allowing their disbelief to protect your process. You are moving like a man who no longer needs witnesses. This is how the rise becomes dangerous. You stop seeking emotional justice and start collecting practical strength. You stop thinking about who laughed and start thinking about what must be mastered: money, body, mind, skill, influence, speech, timing, presence. These are your weapons now, not complaints, not sad stories, not emotional reactions. Weapons. A comeback without weapons is only hope, and hope alone is fragile. Build yourself into evidence. Become undeniable in the areas where you were once dismissed. If they called you weak, train until your discipline has weight. If they called you lost, create direction so sharp that distractions cannot enter. If they called you finished, return with results so solid that their words sound childish. But listen carefully, do not return too early. Many men destroy their comeback because they want the reward before the structure is ready. They reveal the new version while it is still forming. They show the world the seed and expect respect before the tree has roots. Do not make that mistake. Stay hidden until your habits become identity. Stay quiet until your confidence no longer depends on reactions. Stay patient until your results can stand without explanation. When you finally step back into the open, you should not need to announce that you have changed. Your presence should carry it. Your eyes should carry it. Your calm should carry it. Your decisions should carry it. People should feel that something inside you is no longer available to be played with. That is the mark of a real return. Not loudness, not arrogance, not revenge, a controlled distance, a disciplined posture, a refusal to be dragged back into the version of yourself they understood. They may still mention your past. Let them. Only small minds use old evidence against a man who has outgrown the crime scene. You are not living there anymore. You are not sleeping in that failure anymore. You are not answering to that humiliation anymore. Let their memory be outdated. Let their judgment be late. Let their confidence become the trap. Because while they are still discussing who you were, you are becoming the man they never prepared for. And when they realize the old version is gone, do not celebrate loudly. Look forward, stay measured, and let your silence finish the sentence for you. Number 8. Choose power over pity. There is a reason most people never rise again after being declared finished. It is not because the fall was too strong. It is because comfort came disguised as healing. After pain, the body wants rest. The mind wants excuses. The ego wants someone to blame. And the wounded heart wants to be understood so badly that it will trade its future for sympathy. Do not fall into that trap. Sympathy feels warm, but it can make a man soft. It can convince him that his suffering is enough, that surviving is enough, that because he was hurt, he no longer has to demand greatness from himself. Machiavelli would reject that weakness instantly. A prince who loses a battle does not sit in ashes asking the world to admire his scars. He studies why the wall fell, who opened the gate, which guards were asleep, which allies were false, and what must be strengthened before the next attack. That is how you must treat your life now. Your pain is not a museum. Stop visiting it every night. Your betrayal is not a throne. Stop sitting on it like it makes you important. Your failure is not your identity. Stop wearing it like armor when it is actually a chain. If you want to rise again, you must become ruthless with the part of you that enjoys being wounded. Yes, there is a hidden pleasure in pain. Dark psychology understands this. Pain can give you attention. Pain can give you an excuse. Pain can make your laziness feel justified. Pain can make your anger feel noble. But the moment you start benefiting emotionally from staying broken, your comeback dies quietly. You must choose power over pity. Comment this now. I choose power over pity. Write it because you need to hear yourself reject the old addiction. You are not here to be comforted into weakness. You are here to be forged into a man who cannot be easily shaken again. That means you must stop using what happened as permission to lower your standards. Train anyway, work anyway, save anyway, learn anyway, show up anyway, Speak less anyway. Move with dignity anyway. The world does not pause because you are hurt. Opportunities do not wait until your confidence returns. Enemies do not become gentle because your heart is tired. Life keeps moving, and if you do not move with it, you will mistake stagnation for recovery. Real healing is not lying still forever. Real healing is learning to move with scars and still command yourself. Understand this: discipline is the bridge between pain and power. Without discipline, pain becomes bitterness. With discipline, pain becomes transformation. Without discipline, humiliation becomes insecurity. With discipline, humiliation becomes focus. Without discipline, betrayal becomes paranoia. With discipline, betrayal becomes sharper judgment. You decide what your suffering becomes by what you do after it. So build a daily code. Wake before comfort speaks. Control what enters your mind. Remove easy pleasures that weaken your hunger. Stop checking on people who abandoned you. Stop explaining your silence to people who never deserved your access. Stop rehearsing your victim story until it feels like destiny. You are not a victim when you still have choices. You are not finished when you still have breath, time, and the ability to become more dangerous than your circumstances expected. A weak man waits to feel ready. A strong man creates readiness through action. He does not ask his emotions for permission. He gives them orders. He does not let sadness cancel his standards. He lets standards discipline his sadness. This is the cold truth. Nobody is coming to rebuild you in the exact way you need. People may support you, but they cannot become you. They cannot carry your hunger. They cannot master your impulses. They cannot fight your private war. That responsibility is yours, and once you accept it completely, you become free. Not because life becomes easier, but because you stop needing it to be easy. You become the kind of man who can stand in the ruins, look at the damage, and say, "This is not where I end. This is where I become impossible to bury again." Number 9. Return with evidence, not emotion. When the time comes to rise again, do not return with anger in your mouth. Return with evidence in your hands. The world does not respect pain until pain becomes proof. It does not care how much you suffered, how many nights you stayed awake, how many people betrayed you, or how deeply you were misunderstood. It only respects what you become after the suffering. That is why your comeback cannot be emotional. It must be undeniable. Machiavelli would tell you that power is not taken seriously because a man demands respect. Power is taken seriously when a man becomes too solid to ignore. So stop preparing speeches for people who doubted you. Stop imagining the day you will explain everything. Stop rehearsing the perfect line that will finally make them regret underestimating you. That is still weakness. That is still dependency. That means part of you still wants their reaction. Kill that hunger. A powerful man does not rise to make others feel guilty. He rises because remaining low would be an insult to his own potential. Your return must be built from results. A stronger body, a calmer mind, a sharper skill, a cleaner circle, a disciplined routine, a colder relationship with distraction, a higher standard for your time. These are the things that speak when your mouth stays closed, and this is where most people fail. They want the image of a comeback without the burden of consistency. They want the respect without the repetition. They want the crown without the private war. But you are not most people. You are being trained by the season that tried to destroy you. Every day must now ask you one question. Are you becoming evidence, or are you becoming another excuse? Comment this now. I become the proof. Write it, because proof is the only language doubters cannot twist forever. They can mock your dream, but not your discipline. They can question your past, but not your transformation. They can remember your lowest moment, but they cannot stop your next result from standing in front of them like a wall. Understand this deeply. Your reputation will not be repaired by begging people to update their opinion of you. It will be repaired by becoming so focused, so controlled, and so consistent that their old opinion begins to look foolish on its own. You do not chase respect. You create conditions where disrespect becomes difficult. You do not demand loyalty. You become so valuable that betrayal becomes their loss, not yours. You do not argue with those who counted you out. You count your actions until they add up to a life they cannot explain. That is the art of rising again. Quiet accumulation, silent correction, private discipline, public evidence. But be careful. When the results start appearing, the same people who ignored your pain may try to return for your power. They will act like they always believed. They will speak softly. They will pretend the past was not serious. This is where you must stay cold in judgment. Forgiveness does not mean access. Peace does not mean permission. Growth does not mean you reopen every door that once let damage enter your life. A man who rises again must protect the kingdom he rebuilt. Do not let loneliness invite old poison back. Do not let nostalgia confuse you. Do not let temporary attention seduce you into forgetting permanent lessons. Your comeback is sacred because it was expensive. You paid for it with nights nobody saw, with pain nobody understood, with discipline nobody applauded, and with silence nobody respected. So guard it. Move forward like a man who knows what weakness cost him. Let your results speak, but let your boundaries protect the speaker. And when they finally realize you are not finished, when they finally see that the man they buried became stronger in the dark, do not smile too much. Do not explain too much. Do not celebrate in their direction. Just keep walking, because the greatest revenge is not making them watch you rise. The greatest victory is becoming so focused on your mission that their opinion no longer has a seat in your mind. Number 10. Rise so high they cannot reach you again. This is the final test of your return. Can you keep rising after the world finally starts noticing? Because attention is another trap. When you were down, the danger was despair. When you begin to rise, the danger becomes ego. People will start watching again. Some will praise you. Some will act surprised. Some will come back with soft voices and familiar smiles, hoping you forgot what their absence taught you. Do not become drunk on the same approval you once learned to survive without. Machiavelli would warn you that power is never safe in the hands of a man who needs to be admired. Admiration can weaken judgment. It can make you open gates that should remain closed. It can make you confuse recognition with loyalty. So rise, but rise with memory. Remember who stayed silent when your name was being buried. Remember who only appeared after your strength returned. Remember the nights when nobody saved you, and let that memory keep your standards clean. You are not rising to join the crowd again. You are rising to stand above the version of yourself that once needed the crowd. The real victory is not proving them wrong. The real victory is becoming free from needing them to be wrong. That is untouchable power. It is not noise. It is not arrogance. It is not walking around with hatred in your chest. It is calm ownership. It is the ability to move through the world without begging to be understood. It is the discipline to keep building even after applause arrives. It is the wisdom to know that every comeback must become a lifestyle, not a temporary explosion of motivation. If you stop growing after you impress them, you have only changed your audience, not your nature. Keep sharpening, keep training, keep learning, keep removing weakness before weakness removes your future. Comment this final phrase: I rise and remain untouchable. Write it like a covenant with the man you are becoming, because from this point forward, you do not return to laziness. You do not return to begging. You do not return to emotional chaos. You do not return to people who only respected you when you had something to offer. You do not return to the habits that made your downfall possible. You take the throne inside yourself and you guard it. Every day, you choose discipline over comfort, silence over drama, strategy over impulse, standards over attachment, and self-respect over approval. And when life tests you again, because it will, you will not collapse like before. You will observe. You will adapt. You will move. You will become harder to read, harder to shake, harder to control. This is the man they never expected to meet. The man who used humiliation as training. The man who turned abandonment into independence. the man who turned doubt into discipline, the man who rose without permission, without applause, without explanation. From now on, your silence is not emptiness. It is strategy, focus, and the sound of your old weakness dying. So let them keep the old story. Let them remember the fall. Let them whisper that you were finished. Their words no longer command your identity. Your mission does. If this message reached the part of you that is still fighting, like this video, subscribe to Machiavellian Mind and turn on notifications. And before you leave, comment, "I rise and remain untouchable." Not for me, for yourself. So every time weakness calls your name, you remember that the man they counted out became the man they could no longer control.